Imagine an orchestra. You have the violinists, the percussionists, the woodwind players. Each is a master of their craft. Each knows their part intimately. But without a conductor, what you get is noise, a cacophony of brilliant but disconnected sounds. The conductor is the one who brings them all together. They ensure everyone is playing from the same sheet music, at the same tempo, towards the same beautiful symphony. In the world of business and technology, the product manager is that conductor. They don't play the instruments themselves, they don't write the code or design the graphics, but they guide all the talented experts towards a single, harmonious goal, creating a product that people love. So, what is product management at its core? It's the art and science of guiding a product's journey, from the first flicker of an idea to its launch and beyond. It's about answering three fundamental questions. First, what problem are we trying to solve for our customers? Second, how can we build a solution that not only solves that problem but is also something our business can successfully create and sustain? And third, how do we rally a team of designers, engineers, marketers, and salespeople to bring this solution to life? It's a role that sits at the very heart of the action, a fascinating intersection of business strategy, user experience design, and technology. Think about the apps you use every day. Spotify, for instance. A product manager at Spotify was once faced with a problem. People wanted to discover new music, but didn't know where to start. The solution? Features like Discover Weekly. A product manager would have been central to that entire process. They would have talked to users, analyzed listening data, worked with designers to create the interface, and collaborated with engineers to build the algorithm that powers it. They are the ultimate champion for both the user and the business, ensuring that what gets built is valuable, usable, and feasible. It's a job that demands curiosity, empathy, and a relentless focus on solving real-world problems. Product management isn't just about new flashy features though, it's also about the quiet, continuous work of improvement. It's about deciding what not to build, which can be just as important as deciding what to build. It's about fixing the small, annoying bugs that frustrate users. It's about making sure the product remains relevant and successful in a constantly changing market. A product manager is the steward of the product, nurturing it through its entire life cycle. They are the storyteller, the strategist, the diplomat, and the problem solver, all rolled into one. They are the person who ensures the orchestra plays a symphony, not just a series of random notes. If you were to follow a product manager for a day, you might be struck by the sheer variety of their tasks. There is no typical day, and that's part of the appeal. A morning might begin with a stand-up meeting with the engineering team. Here, the product manager isn't directing the technical work, but rather listening. They're there to answer questions, clarify requirements, and remove any roadblocks. For example, if an engineer is unsure about how a particular button should behave, the product manager is the go-to person for a definitive answer, always tying it back to the user's needs. They act as the voice of the customer in the room, ensuring the team's efforts are always aligned with the why behind the work. After that meeting, their calendar might show a one-on-one call with a user. This is where the magic really happens. A product manager might be interviewing someone about their experience with the product, digging deep to understand their frustrations and desires. They aren't just asking, "Do you like this feature?" They're asking, "Tell me about the last time you tried to accomplish X. What was that like?" This is empathy in action. It's about getting to the root of a problem, not just scratching the surface. The insights gathered from these conversations are pure gold, forming the foundation for future product decisions, and ensuring the team builds things that people will actually use and value. The afternoon could be spent in a completely different mode: data analysis. A product manager might be poring over dashboards, looking at key performance indicators or KPIs. KPIs are simply the vital signs of a product. They are measurable values that show how effectively a product is achieving its goals. For an e-commerce app, a KPI might be the cart abandonment rate. If that number is high, the product manager needs to figure out why. Is the checkout process too complicated? Are the shipping costs a surprise? They use this data not to find answers, but to ask better questions, forming hypotheses that they can then test with their team. And before the day ends, they might be found writing. A lot of a product manager's job is communication, and writing is a key part of that. They might be crafting a product requirements document, or PRD, which is a clear, detailed guide for the team. outlining what they are building, for whom, and why. Or they could be preparing a presentation for company leaders, making the case for a new product initiative and securing the resources needed to move forward. They are constantly translating user needs into technical requirements, translating data into business strategy, and translating the team's progress into a compelling story for the rest of the company. Every great product starts with a problem. It doesn't start with a solution. It starts with an observation, a frustration, a need that isn't being met. The first job of a product manager is to be a detective, constantly on the lookout for these problems. Idea generation isn't about sitting in a room and waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. It's a disciplined process of listening and learning. Ideas can come from anywhere. A casual complaint from a customer on a support call, a trend spotted in industry reports, an interesting pattern in user behavior data, or even a clever suggestion from an engineer on the team. The product manager's role is to create a system for capturing all these potential sparks. Once you have a collection of problems or ideas, the real work begins: validation. An idea is just a hypothesis, an educated guess, and you need to treat it like a scientist would. The goal is to find evidence that proves, or more importantly disproves, your hypothesis before you invest a huge amount of time and money building it. The most powerful tool for this is user research. This means getting out of the building and talking to real people. You might conduct interviews, run surveys, or observe people using existing products. The aim is to understand their world, their pain points, and their motivations. You're searching for the truth about the problem you think you've identified. Data analysis is the other side of the validation coin. While talking to users gives you the why, the qualitative insight, data gives you the what, the quantitative evidence. A product manager might look at market data to see how big the potential audience is for a new idea. They might analyze data from their own product to see where users are dropping off or struggling. For example, if you have an idea for a new feature to help users organize their photos, you might first look at the data to see how many people are actually using the existing basic organization tools. If very few people are, your new idea might be a solution in search of a problem. This process of gathering qualitative and quantitative information helps the product manager build a strong business case. It moves an idea from a vague "wouldn't it be cool if" to a solid blueprint. This blueprint might take the form of a PRD, which, as we mentioned, is a foundational document. Think of it as the recipe for the product. It clearly defines the target user, the persona, their problem, the user story, and the proposed solution's key features and success metrics. This ensures that when the team finally starts building, everyone is aligned on what they're making, who it's for, and what success will look like. It turns a hopeful spark into a clear, actionable plan. In the past, building a new product was a bit like launching a rocket to the moon. You would spend months, sometimes years, in a secret lab, perfecting every detail. You'd write a massive detailed plan. Then, you'd have a big bang launch, hoping and praying that you'd aimed correctly, and that people would actually want what you'd built. The problem with this approach is that if you were wrong, you'd only find out after spending a fortune and a huge amount of time. The lean startup methodology, popularized by Eric Ries, flipped this entire model on its head. It's a philosophy that prioritizes speed, learning, and customer feedback above all else. The core of the lean startup is a simple loop: build, measure, learn. Let's break that down. Build doesn't mean building the entire finished product. It means building a minimum viable product, or MVP. An MVP is the most basic version of your product that still allows you to test your most critical assumption. It's the smallest thing you can build to start the learning process. For Zappos, the online shoe retailer, their MVP wasn't a giant warehouse and a complex website. The founder simply took photos of shoes in local stores, put them online, and when someone bought a pair, he ran to the store to buy it and ship it. This tested his core assumption: would people buy shoes online? Measure is the next step. Once your MVP is in the hands of a small group of early users or early adopters, you need to measure how they interact with it. This is where your KPIs come into play again. Are users signing up? Are they coming back? Are they using the key feature you built? This isn't about vanity metrics like the total number of downloads. It's about actionable metrics that tell you whether your core idea is working. You are collecting real-world data, not just opinions. This data is the unbiased truth about your product's performance, providing concrete evidence to guide your next move. Finally, learn. This is the most important part of the loop. You take the data you've measured and the feedback you've gathered, and you learn from it. Did your hypothesis hold true? Or did users behave in a completely unexpected way? This learning informs your next decision. You have two primary choices: persevere or pivot. If the data is positive and confirms your direction, you persevere, building upon your MVP and adding more features. If the data shows your core assumption was wrong, you pivot. A pivot isn't a failure. It's a strategic change of direction based on what you've learned. The entire process is about failing fast, learning cheaply, and iterating your way towards a product that people truly want. In the world of product development, you'll often hear several titles that sound quite similar. Product manager, product owner, and business analyst are three of the most common, and it's easy to get them confused. While there can be a lot of overlap depending on the company, they each have a distinct focus and core responsibility. Think of the product manager as the strategist, the CEO of the product. They are primarily focused outwards, on the market, the customer, and the long-term vision. They are responsible for the why. Why are we building this product and what will make it successful in the market? The product manager sets the product's vision and strategy. They conduct market research, analyze competitors, and define the overall product roadmap, a high-level plan of what the team will build over the next few quarters or years. They are deeply concerned with the business outcomes, revenue, market share, and customer satisfaction. They own the product's success from a commercial perspective. They spend a significant amount of their time talking to customers and stakeholders across the company, from sales and marketing to the executive leadership, ensuring everyone is aligned with the product's strategic direction. Their main goal is to ensure the team is building the right product. Now let's look at the product owner. This role comes from the Agile and Scrum development frameworks. The product owner is more focused inwards, on the development team and the execution of the product vision. If the product manager owns the why, the product owner owns the what and when on a more granular level. They take the high-level strategic roadmap from the product manager and break it down into detailed user stories and tasks for the engineering team. They are the master of the product backlog, a prioritized list of all the work the team needs to do. Their main goal is to ensure the team builds the product right. Finally, we have the business analyst. The business analyst is often focused on the how. They are experts at diving into the details and requirements. While a product manager might identify a user problem like our checkout process is confusing, a business analyst might be the one to analyze the entire process step by step, map out all the systems involved, and define the specific functional requirements for a new streamlined checkout flow. They are masters of detail, process, and documentation. In some organizations, the product manager might perform some of the business analyst duties, but in larger, more complex companies, the business analyst is a specialized role that ensures technical and business requirements are captured with precision, bridging the gap between business needs and the technical solution. Breaking into product management can feel like a classic chicken and egg problem. You need experience to get a job, but you can't get experience without a job. The good news is that many of the core skills of a product manager are transferable, and you don't need the official title to start thinking and acting like one. People from all sorts of backgrounds, marketing, engineering, design, customer support, even teaching, make fantastic product managers. The key is to leverage your unique domain knowledge and start building the specific skills that companies are looking for. Your background isn't a limitation, it's your unique advantage. A great first step is to start with your current role. Look for opportunities to take on product-related responsibilities. Can you volunteer to lead a small project? Can you spend time with the customer support team to understand common user complaints? Could you offer to analyze some product usage data to find interesting patterns? Or perhaps you could help write the documentation for a new feature. Show initiative and curiosity about the why behind the work your team is doing. Ask questions. Talk to the product managers in your company. Ask to shadow them for a day or buy them a coffee to learn about their journey. This entrepreneurial approach shows you have the drive and mindset of a PM. Learning the language and frameworks of product management is also crucial. You don't need an expensive degree, but you do need to understand the fundamentals. There are countless amazing books, blogs, and online courses available. Read books like Inspired by Marty Kagan or The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Follow product leaders on social media and subscribe to industry newsletters. Learn the terminology like PRD, KPI, MVP, and user stories. Understanding these concepts will allow you to speak the same language as hiring managers and demonstrate that you've done your homework. This foundational knowledge is non-negotiable and shows your commitment to making the transition. Finally, start building your technical literacy. You absolutely do not need to be a programmer to be a great product manager. However, you do need to understand the basics of how technology products are built. Learn about how the internet works, what an API is, the difference between a front end and a back end, and the basics of different software development methodologies like Agile and Scrum. This knowledge will help you have more credible conversations with your engineering team, understand technical constraints, and make more realistic plans. It builds a bridge of respect and communication, which is essential for any successful product team. A great CV can get you an interview, but a great portfolio can get you the job. For aspiring product managers, a portfolio is your chance to prove you can do the work, even if you've never held the official title. It's tangible proof of your ability to think like a product manager. Instead of just saying you're a good problem solver, you can show it. Your portfolio doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to clearly demonstrate your thought process. One of the best ways to start is with a product teardown, or critique. Pick a product you use every day, either one you love or one that frustrates you, and analyze it. A product teardown involves deconstructing a product from a PM's perspective. Who is the target user? What problem does it solve for them? What are its key features? How does it make money? What are its strengths and weaknesses? Most importantly, if you were the product manager, what would you do to improve it? Write this up as a clear, well-structured document. Propose a specific new feature or improvement, explain the user problem it solves, and outline how you would measure its success. This exercise shows that you can think critically about products, identify user needs, and formulate a strategic recommendation. It's a powerful way to demonstrate your product sense. Another essential piece for your portfolio is a sample product requirements document, or PRD. You can create one for the new feature you proposed in your product teardown. This is where you get into the details. A PRD should outline the feature's background and strategic fit, define the user personas and their user stories. For example, as a busy parent, I want to be able to reorder my weekly groceries with one click so that I can save time, and list the specific functional requirements. Don't forget to include success metrics, the KPIs you would use to determine if the feature was a success. Creating a PRD shows you can translate a high-level idea into a detailed plan that an engineering team can actually build. To make your ideas even more tangible, consider creating simple wireframes or a prototype. You don't need to be a designer for this. Tools like Figma, Balsamiq, or even PowerPoint can be used to create basic, low-fidelity sketches of your proposed feature. A wireframe is just a simple visual guide for the layout of a screen. It shows where the buttons, text, and images will go. This visual aid makes your PRD much easier to understand and demonstrates that you can think about the user experience and flow. Combining a product teardown, a PRD, and a simple wireframe creates a comprehensive portfolio piece that showcases the full range of your product thinking. Artificial intelligence is not here to replace product managers, it's here to supercharge them. Think of AI as the ultimate assistant or a co-pilot, one that can handle the tedious, time-consuming tasks, freeing up the product manager to focus on the things that humans do best: strategy, creativity, and empathy. The impact of AI tools is already being felt across the entire product lifecycle, making product managers faster, smarter, and more effective. One of the most immediate benefits is in the realm of research and analysis. In the past, a PM might spend days sifting through hundreds of customer reviews or support tickets to find common themes. Today, AI-powered tools can analyze thousands of pieces of customer feedback in mere seconds. They can identify recurring pain points, categorize feedback by topic, and even gauge the sentiment, positive, negative, or neutral, of the comments. This allows a product manager to get a near-instant pulse on user sentiment and identify emerging problems much faster than ever before. Instead of manually reading every review, the PM can ask the AI, what are the top 3 frustrations our users in Germany have with the latest app update? And get a summarized, data-backed answer. This dramatically accelerates the measure and learn parts of the lean startup loop. AI is also transforming how product managers generate and refine ideas. When writing a PRD, for example, a PM can use an AI writing assistant to help draft initial user stories, brainstorm potential risks, or even suggest success metrics for a new feature. It can act as a tireless brainstorming partner. A PM could prompt an AI with, generate 5 different ways a food delivery app could help users with dietary restrictions. This doesn't replace the PM's strategic thinking, but it provides a wealth of starting points and helps overcome the blank page problem, leading to more creative and thorough planning. It's a powerful tool for augmenting, not replacing, human creativity. Furthermore, AI is becoming invaluable for data analysis and forecasting. A product manager can now use tools that not only display data on a dashboard, but also highlight significant trends, anomalies, and correlations that a human might miss. For example, an AI could proactively flag that user engagement from a specific demographic has dropped unexpectedly after a recent release. It can also be used to build predictive models, helping a PM to forecast the potential impact of a new feature on key business metrics, like user retention or revenue. This moves the role from being reactive to proactive, allowing PMs to anticipate future challenges and opportunities with greater accuracy. The journey from a promising idea to a successful product launch is a structured, iterative process. It's a marathon, not a sprint, guided by the product manager every step of the way. We can break this journey down into a few key phases. It all begins, as we've discussed, with discovery and validation. This is where you live and breathe the customer's problem. You conduct user interviews, analyze market data, and validate your core assumptions. The main output of this phase is a clear problem statement and a strong business case that justifies why this product is worth building. It's about ensuring you're setting off in the right direction. The next phase is planning and design. With a validated problem in hand, the product manager works closely with designers and lead engineers to define the solution. This is where you create the PRD, detailing the user stories, features, and requirements. Designers will create wireframes and high-fidelity mock-ups, turning the requirements into a tangible user interface. The engineering team will provide estimates and technical feedback. This collaborative phase results in a detailed product backlog, the prioritized to-do list for the development team, and a clear roadmap for the first version of the product, our minimum viable product. Then comes the development and testing phase. The engineering team gets to work, building the product in a series of sprints, which are short, focused periods of work, typically lasting 1 to 2 weeks. The product manager's role here is to be available to the team, answering questions and clarifying requirements. They also work with quality assurance testers to ensure the product is free of major bugs and works as expected. Throughout this phase, the PM is continuously prioritizing the backlog, making trade-offs to ensure the most valuable features are delivered first, keeping the team focused on the MVP. Finally, we arrive at the launch and iteration phase. The launch isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. You release your product to the world, or perhaps to a smaller group of users first, a beta launch. Now the measure and learn loop goes into overdrive. The product manager obsessively tracks the KPIs, gathers user feedback, and analyzes how the product is being used in the real world. Based on this data, they begin planning the next iteration. What's working? What isn't? What's the next most important problem to solve for our users? This continuous cycle of launching, learning, and improving is the very essence of modern product management, and it's where the real excitement begins. Your journey as a product manager has only just started. So go on, take that first step, start learning, start building, and start solving problems. The world is full of them, waiting for you.